Here we got a 2004 fucking King of the Hill 100 Series Landcruiser. I'm going to do a quick video on how to do the rear bearings. But a couple of things you're going to need is a press. This is a 30 ton press, but eBay jobby, so probably 20 ton. You have to make yourself or buy yourself one of these jigs to pull and push the bearings off. And one of these bearing splitters or pullers, whatever you want to call the fucking thing. But fucking these are King of the Hill, mate. Before I bought this, I was bald and going skinny. Fucking made me a man. Fucking look at me now. Anyway, let's fucking get into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is pull the wheel off. If you can't do that, I wouldn't attempt this job at all. So fucking don't! Next step, you want to get this fucking brake caliper off. 217mm at the back of it. There's one of the fucking dogs. The other dog's down there. You can fucking see it. There's the cunt. So the caliper's off. You can zip tie it out of the way under the spring, but I reckon fuck that. Don't be a pussy, just let it fucking sit there. Next thing, we've got to get the drum off and brake. Now you'll see on the bottom, there's a little access hole. You can get a screwdriver in there and adjust the drum shoes. And you want to adjust them in so they're not clamping onto this drum, so you can pull him off. So in here is a roller, and I'll show you after. You got to push it down to loosen it. Right, there's that cunt off. Have a look under here. You see that? That's the adjuster. So down, we'll close it. You can pull the fucking drum off the fucking thing. Hey! So now I've got access to all the handbrake shoes. We want to pull all that shit off, but first give it a bit of a clean with this shit. This shit's fucking good. This shit takes shit off the fucking blanket, this stuff. I drink the shit, but fuck, you get crooked. Trust me. To get these off, you got these little fucking, what are they called? Some sort of washer, but you got to push in against the pin. Fucking tight. Cut over there. I can't fucking do it with the camera on there. So now you got all that shit out. Around the back here you got this ABS sensor, a little 10mm bolt. Get that cunt out of there. You can see in there now where I pulled that sensor out, you can see that ABS ring in there. Take note that it's nicely in the fucking middle of the dog. So you've got to get that back there again. But I'll show you that. The next thing you got to do is you see the caliper brake lines connected to this back fucking disc cover. That's all got to come off. So that means you got to undo this fucker to separate it, pull this little slide out, which means you guessed it, got to bleed your brakes. Now I reckon you could probably knock the studs out back through this way, like this, and fuck around and get it off without doing it, but I reckon it'd be a cunt of a time when it comes time to put the axle back in. So fucking just pull that apart! So I've pulled this slide out, releasing it, undone it, got it out of its capture, we'll call it, and just put it back in there. You don't want fucking hair getting into these ABS, they're fucking dogs or things otherwise. Alright, next thing is these 4 flange nuts on the back we've got to get off, and then we're up to sliding the whole assembly out. Now what I got you is something I was told by an old bloke once, was never use the palm of your hand to snap to hit these bloody breaker bars or ratchets. You'll end up damaging your hand, so never do that. Right, now we've got them flange nuts off. It's just a matter now of pulling the whole schmozzle out of here. So I'll just pull that out and sit it on the bench, and we'll fucking go to the next fucking step. There's fucking oil dripping everywhere, dog, everything. Recommend changing your diff oil after this also. Fucking good on you. Have a look at this, got fucking oil from one end of the fucking joint to the other. Fuck me, dude! But take note of this big O-ring seal around here. Come back to that later, and that fucking seal in there. Dog of a fucking cunt. Anyway, let's get this on the bench. That's fucking light. I don't give a fuck what you reckon. Here we are. So, the fucking nice fat axle. So you can see here, the very first thing is our top retainer, which also is the mating surface for that inner axle seal. You can see where it's been rubbing before. Next thing is the ABS ring, then the circlip, the big retainer, and there's our bearing right in here. So we'll go through the process of getting all that off. But first, before you get it off, I took the time to measure where everything is. You want to get it back to where it was. And in fact, this time I'll probably press the retainer a little bit further on, so that seal's rubbing more on the centre of this retainer. I'll probably go a little bit further in, couple mil in. Anyway, let's fucking do it! So step one here, chuck your flange nuts back on, because we've got to knock these studs out of the way. We'll knock them out completely, so we can get our bearing puller in. They sort of restrict us from getting it down low enough, so knock them dogs out. So you get the nuts on there so you don't burn the top. I was meant to say that, but I fucking forgot! Here we go, look. Look how he fucking come. He's gone. He's fucked. There we go. Get the fucking things out. So now if them studs removed, we can fit our bearing splitter on. So we want to get him under that ABS ring. And we're just going to pull off that ABS ring, this ABS ring, and that retainer. You might be tempted to pull all of it off, but we've got this fucking circlip here which restricts you. I think it'd be too hard to press them all off anyway. So just get them fucking two things first. Right, now that's on in position, this is where this thing starts to come into play. So one side is basically a copy of the flange on the diff. And I made a template just out of cardboard. I'll show you where she fucking goes. So I just copied this dog. Now see that lines up this side, but when you get the other side, it's fucking flipped. They fucking flipped it on us. So you'll see two of the holes have to be either slotted or two holes. I've just done the two hole. I'll show you what I mean. Fucking over here. See, I drilled these fucking holes, the big holes, thinking, oh, that'll be it. Come the other side. Fucking dog tricked me. So I've got these other holes here which hopefully line up. But you know, you start losing meat on your plate for the press. So I recommend cutting this plate a little bit bigger just to allow for these extra holes. So fucking listen to what I'm fucking telling you. So you can start to see what we've got to do here. So this flange will sit in the press, and we're actually pressing the axle through, which in turn pulls these suckers off. So we'll set her up in the press and have a look. Here we are, we got him in the press, ready to push that axle through, which will pull these dogs off. So let's have a fucking go, let's have a look. Alright, just make sure everything stays lined up. And here we go. Let's see. There's a bit of force in these dogs. That scared me a little bit. Now, if you've got a new ABS ring, I think even the manual says you could cut these off with a grinder. I'd be a bit worried to cut the axle shaft, but my kit didn't come with them, so I'll be reusing the ABS ring at least anyway. So when this pops off, that axle's going to drop. I just remembered I just put something underneath. I'll put this leather jacket under there. So who the fuck would wear that anyway? Yeah, I'll just fucking sit you down. Fuck this under there. Yeah, look at that, fucking beautiful. Alright, let's keep going. There we go. Step 1 complete. I'll fucking pull this all out and fucking get the fucking thing off. Right, next thing. We'll pull this circlip off, which holds the bearing and retainer in place. If you haven't got a set of these, I fucking recommend getting the dogs. Fucking nearly got the dog. Oh. Right, get him off, but you'll have to keep him. Him and the ABS ring we need to, well, I need to put back on again. This retainer we won't need, but they're always handy to keep for pressing bearings and other things in, so hang on to him. Right, now we need to put our studs back in so we can connect our fucking thingamajig to it. So the trick to putting studs in, or my trick, is you see they've got these little splines on them, locating splines. So you put them in just by hand, and you can sort of feel around, wait for it to sort of notch into position. Oh. And then what you do is you use your nut and tighten it up, which will pull the stud up into its spot. Good on you. So now we've got them aligned, we'll just use the nut to pull the stud up into its spline. Tighten that right up and then take them off again. Studs will fucking stay there. Now we've got our studs back in. We're ready to connect our thingamajiggy up again. So we can press this shaft down through this retainer and the bearing. Now last time I did it, I had to actually put a bit of heat on this retainer. It wasn't budging. I'll see how I go first, but I may have to put some heat in him. We'll see how we fucking go! Right, there she is, flange all bolted. So now it's time to try to press this shaft through this bearing and retainer. We'll chuck him in the press. Right, here she is in the press. We'll fucking press it down, see how we go. What'd you say, Bill? I'm gonna fucking smack this fucking prick one day. Alright, just pressing this out. You can see the force. I'd recommend thicker plate than what I've done. Anyway, let's see how she goes. Just getting there. Slowly but surely. Alright. I'll press this out and show you the look. Off here I can go. There we go. Got the fucker. Righto. Got him on the bench. I've taken the tool off. It looks like, yeah, the bearing has split in half. There's the other race still on the shaft. You see there's a little bit of rust in there, making it seized on real tight. Not to worry, I'll just get the puller and pull that off. Alright, I've got the puller set up to pull that inner race off. I'll probably put a little bit of heat on here, help it come off. Fucking good on ya. Right, we've got this fucking dog set up in here. Let's see if we can get that off. A bit of tension up as you. There we go. Bit of heat done the trick. Right, I'll get him off and show you on the bench. Right, that's got the fucker. That was hot. So there we are, everything off. So, I'll give everything a clean, pull this seal out. Fucking oath. I'll fucking show you that fucking seal actually. Here it fucking is. Just a bit of a dust seal. So remember that way down. Fucking oath. I'll clean him up. we'll start putting the fucking bearings back on it. I'll show you how to pull that first. Fucking show you how to fucking do it first. So we're gonna get the rest of this bearing out. So I'm gonna knock the studs out and separate this to make it a bit easier. I'll chuck these nuts on so we don't fuck the end of the fucking bolts. Right, now the studs are up, we can separate the fucker. Now we got that. So we'll press the rest of that bearing out. Here's something I fucking made earlier for that dog. And we'll clean everything up, give it a light sand. The shaft inside here, the bearing seat. So everything goes back together fucking better! So we'll press the bearing out. It can only come out one way. You'll fucking see how to do it when you look at it. Bit of fucking force on the dog. Here we go. Fucking dog's fucking stuck on something. Here we go. Fucking take two. We got the fucking dog of a thing. There we fucking go. There's the fucking dog out of the dog. Let's have a look at the big fucking thing. I'll show you inside. We'll have a look and see how bad it was. This is a 2004 fucking cruiser with fucking 242,000. So we'll have it. Looks bad there, but that's because I melted the cunt. We'll have a look. So you can see in there. Look, the brown stuff's from my fucking dirty hands, but you can see the grease. I don't know if it's white lithium grease or what, but still not bad. They probably could have went for longer. I reckon change about 300,000, I'd be looking into it. Yeah, it's not too bad. Fucking good fucking talk. That was a good talk between us all. Cheers. Alright, I got every fucking thing cleaned and ready to put some fucking bearings on. But first, we got to pull the seal. There's a fucking seal puller out her. Got to get that fucking dog in there. Take this O-ring off too. I got a new one of them. So we'll get this fucking hook in there and see if we can fucking launch that dog out. Alright, now that dog's out. We'll give it a bit of a clean in here. Get ready to push the new seal in. And I'll fucking show you how to fucking do it. Now I'll put the seal in, gold facing out. See the all the strength in the seals on the side. So you want something. Hang on. You want something that fits it to smack it in. So you're not smacking the inside and deforming it. That's all I'm gonna fucking say about it. That's the seal in there. You'll know you got it right as you're hitting it. The sound will change. You'll hear it seat. You just have a feel, make sure it is all the way around, and grease it up. Because when you slide the axle in, you don't want to damage the seal, or you have to pull fucking everything out again. Right, I've cleaned everything up. The shaft's nice and clean, and I've cleaned that up, and I've just put a little thin film of grease just to help that bearing press in. The new one, fucking fair size bearing. These 100 series. Fucking bearings, big dogs. So I just sort of start it by hand. And what I've done is I've kept the old race from the old bearing I pulled out, and I've just sanded it down a bit, and that will make the perfect press piece to push her in. If you're pushing in a bearing, any bearing, because the outside face is the one that's got the friction, you want to be pushing down on the outside. You don't want to be pushing the inner race, or you'll push the bearing through. You want to be pushing the outside. If you're pushing onto the shaft, you want to be pushing this one if it's going around here. Does that make fucking sense to you? So you want to press this bearing, this fucking thing, till it's all the way at the bottom. You'll feel it get firm this press when it seats. You just have a look underneath and make sure it fucking is. Hey? Right, now that's pressed in. You can see it's all the way seated. We'll put the studs back in and slip him back in here. Alright, just do that. Alright, got the studs back in. Now we've got to sit him back on the shaft and put the washer and retainer on. I'll fucking show it after I do it. Next thing is put this dust seal in. Just put a little bit of grease around where it seats. Look how good my finger's whipping that around. Fuck me. Fucking perfect. So, there's your seal. And you got to put it in the smaller side in here. Make sure you really press it down. You don't want gaps like that. You want to seal him all up. So I'll just fucking do that. Chuck a bit more grease around the seal once you got her in. And then we'll put him on. This side of the seal will end up inside this bit of a fucking lip. But I'll fucking show you. Right, now we'll slide that whole assembly onto the shaft and get it started onto where the bearing will seat. Make sure you got seal down into here. Right, now that's on. Next thing to go on is the washer. And the bigger retainer with the chamfered edge up. Now I've got to set this up in the press, but as you can see through height, I need something to pack it out. So what I do is I just got a bit of pipe, just to give me that clearance. And I'll show you how it looks in the fucking press. Alright, I'm setting the press. I've got this plate so I'm not damaging this front face in here, just sits across there. And slightly grease the shaft just to help the bearing and race retainer slide up. You can see under here the pipe I've got just to get clearance for all that shit. I'll give it a fucking press, see what happens. So it's getting close now. You'll feel it get tight at the end, and also this seal will be tucked up inside here. Alright. Gets tight towards the end. Alright, that's the bearing and first retainer pressed onto the shaft. You see you got enough when you got that, just enough of that circlip to go on. So we'll whip that on, because if you forget to put that on, you'll fucking snap. You'll be fucking cranky! Right, that circlip is in. Make sure it's seated properly into its groove. Next is our ABS ring. So it goes, what would you call it, the teeth side down. So slide him on. And our new top retainer. I don't know where I put the fucking thing. Here it is, right in front of me. Now, again, we've got to come back to our measurements that we made to make sure we press it. So this surface is what the seal's gonna, the inner axle seal is gonna seal onto. So we use our last measurements and push it down. Same way as we did the bearing. Fucking good on you. So now we're pressing on the ABS ring and the last retainer. And we've got to make sure we got that measurement from the end of the shaft up. There's a bit of a wetness marker where it used to sit, so we've got a bit of a guideline, but we'll fucking crank it on!
Hey, you finished, Russ? Let's get on the fucking piss.
Hey, you wanna fucking go me, do you? Hey! Trying to fucking press a fucking ring on. Come around here with all the fucking... Fuck me. A little bit more. I'll fucking get back to you. There we go, I've measured her up. She's the right depth, so that's everything back on. Time to put the fucking thing back into the fucking car. Fuck this. So before we put him in, we'll chuck a bit of grease around that top retainer. Fucking have a look at me doing that. Fuck, I'm good at doing this shit. Look at me wiping that on like a fucking champion. Fuck me, how good's that? And what I'll also like to do is chuck a bit of the diff oil up the shaft. Get a bit of that on there. Chuck him up there. Because when we're sliding it in, we don't want to damage that inner axle seal. Fucking look at me get that on there. Fucking give it to her when you put her on. Fuck a bit more of that. Anyway, we'll fucking slide the cunt in, eh? Now you don't want to forget putting this seal on. We talked about that earlier. She goes around here. You forget that, you'll fucking get cranky. Fuck, you'll be angry. I like to put a bit of grease around the flange, so fucking look at me get that. So the fucking thing doesn't rust up. Chuck a bit of grease around the fucking thing. I don't give a fuck if you don't want to do it, but I'm fucking doing it. Fucking do what you want. There we go. So when we slide this axle in, you got to make sure you don't rub along the bottom of that seal and wreck it. So sort of hover it up. Hold the fucking thing up. Don't want to fucking wreck the fucking thing. Alright, we got him back in. So now put your fucking 4 nuts back on your flange. Fucking bolts. Do the cunt up the fucking, I don't care how many Newton fucking meters you want to do it. I'll just do the cunt up tight, so you do how you want to fucking do it. Fuck this. Alright, we got him done up. Have a look at that fucking wheel. Back in the middle. You know you've done the right fucking thing if that's right. So put this fucking ABS sensor back in. Make sure the face is clean. We'll chuck a bit of fucking grease around that. So she fucking slides in and fucking seals. Right, now that's it. We're just going to put all the fucking handbrake shoes back together. That's fucking easy, don't even worry about it. Right, there she is. How's that for fucking special effects, you fucking cunts? Hey, fucking not bad for a fucking... Not bad for a bloke just from Borough! Rightio, fucking... Now we've got that back dog. We've fucking got the brake line back in to its little fucking capture spot. All the fucking springs and everything. Now, we've got to adjust the drums. The handbrake fucking pads. Whatever the fuck you want to call them. So this time we're going to be winding it up until you can't move this, lock it, and then back it off 8 teeth. And that's the Toyota spec adjustment, they fucking reckon. So that's fucking it. That's basically how you do fucking rear bearings. So fucking have a fucking go. Look, it'd have to be a pretty good mate for me to do it for him, but you know, it's not that bad. Just fucking have a go of it. I don't know, fucking have a fucking crack, mate. I shouldn't have to fucking tell you!